What's up, y'all? It's AK97 back at you for another week of Makeup and Mental Health. I have your M&Ms for the week. Yes, they are here. They've arrived. And this week, we are going to be talking about who are you? Who are you? How do you know? How'd you arrive at that conclusion? All answers, questions that will be answered in today's video. But before we get there, temperature check. How you doing? How you feeling? I'm at a 9. I'm feeling pretty motherfucking good today. How are you doing? Tell me. Let me know in the comments. Drop it. Like it is hot. In addition to our temperature checks, I decided that we're gonna do some motherfucking affirmations. I define who I am, and I do so with love and clarity. I would say there are really two main ways that you can define yourself, at least that what I've come to is both in your relationships with others and your own internal, processes. That in relationships with others, that can include your family or your blood relatives, your friends, or in my case, your chosen family, your chosen community. You also find, and this is kind of an extension of like relationships with others, but I think a great way to find your identity is in the spaces that you build. Like, you can just call them hobbies, but for me, like I said, because I don't really have a relationship, like a strong what did I say? Foundation through my blood relatives, I do heavily rely on building community through, what I do in the world. The internal self-discovery, on the other hand, we can do things like personality test. I love astrology. Some of y'all might not like astrology, but if you stay tuned, I promise I may convince you to at least give it a consideration. It's not to say you should live your life like I can't stand I'm a Gemini, and I can't stand I'm a Gemini, that's why I'm crazy. No, bitch, you need to go to therapy. So not into that type of like self-definition, not just the archetypes and the stereotypes, but really getting into your birth chart. Is making sure that you define yourself and that you're not being defined by these, like, as I will continue to talk about in the longer video on the YouTube. If you're already on YouTube, you're already here, so you don't have to do anything. But if you're looking at this on Instagram, follow me to my YouTube so we can really get into the different ways in which we are able to define ourselves and how to know that you're defining yourself for you and not letting other people tell you who the fuck you is. Every time I have to say family, it makes me uncomfortable because I have one cousin that's my nigga for real. Like, we the gay cousins, so we gotta stick together, and I actually like them. So there's that. The rest of them niggas, a lot of them, it's really just a big shrug because they're just not, you know what I mean? Like, it's not beef per se, but it's just we're related by blood, and that's it. We don't have an actual relationship. And then some of them niggas, I can't say that is beef, but it is definitely not a supportive. They're very homophobic, transphobic, Christian. A lot of them are Christian, and otherwise, even if they're not Christian, they're just fucking uppity. Like, they're not on my same frequency, if I'm just being honest. Like, they're just not looking for the same things out of life that I am, and that's okay. But a lot of the times people are, I'm just talking and not doing my makeup. Makeup and mental health, aka makeup and mental health, not just do it all in post because you was talking the whole time without moving. I'm working on it. Over time, I'll get better at it, I promise. Disney been doing a thing, and Turning Red is another one of those movies that they're just saying and doing the things that need to be done. And I'm not quoting it exactly, but essentially at the beginning, May is saying something about how if you're in pursuit of honoring your family, don't forget to honor yourself, or something of that nature. And so I'll talk a little bit more about my stuff later with my blood relatives, but I know for a lot of people who are not choosing to divorce themselves, like people want to be cool with their blood relatives, with their families, so they are, you know, kind of navigating maybe a bit toxic, challenging relationships with their family in which they feel stuck in a role. You know, you're the black sheep of the family. You're the older sister, older sibling that's holding it down for everybody. You're the glue of the family. You're the backbone of the family. You're the baby. You're the baby, and you're not. Your autonomy is not being respected. You know, there's just a range of different roles that people can fall into amongst their blood relatives, and they can be really constricting. You know, people can really get lost in what they are told that they are supposed to be to a family unit rather than who the fuck they want to be. So it's really important that you, and when it comes to the external part of your identity, or like your relationships with others and how that informs you, don't just let it be whatever you're told. Like, when it comes to using your relationships with others to inform who you are, make sure it's a decision that you're fucking making. You're deciding who you want to hang around. You're deciding what company you keep. You're deciding what beliefs that you want to feed into, because I personally feel like you are who you surround yourself with. So if you are choosing to surround yourself with people that aren't really on the same vibration as you, for whatever reason, like, or let's just say it's not choice. Let's say it's not that simple, because I know it's a lot of reasons why people stay in. Trust the fucking process. I'm talking to myself here because I don't like the way this looks already. I like for things to already look done. I don't like processes. I don't like to have to go through the process. I just want it to look the way it's supposed to be. We are unlearning perfectionism. But yes, social spaces can also help shape your identity. I know that in the last year or so, I truly have found a community through the circle, through the Midnight Garden, through these people that I'll see on a regular basis. And then, you know, little conversations, big conversations, conflict, whatever. I'm really growing into my own by being a part of something, you know, by I'm expected there, I'm wanted there, I'm needed there. That means a lot to me, to know that and to have that. And it's helped really inform the person that I'm growing into today. There is also the internal, right? I don't know about y'all, but I loves me a personality test. I loves me a little personality test. Tell me about myself. One of the first ones that I remember being exposed to was the Myers-Briggs personality test. I am an INFP. I was an ENFP for a very long time, but now I'm an INFP. I float, I guess. I'm a real ambivert shit. Looks like someone punched me in the face. It's okay. We're working through it. Daddy's eye. People call me loose. I ain't let them try me. I'm in love with my body. He's nobody I can talk to about it. He's saying I should need help, but I don't even know what I need. Bro, when I tell you, I feel for Megan so fucking bad. Like, them about to cry. What the fuck? And I'm not even in a bad mental space today, but like, being a bad bitch that have bad days too, and people constantly expecting you to, like, you know, be on go and be, you know, fun, happy, go lucky, whatever. And then this part, y'all remember on SNL when she choked up singing this motherfucker and is removed from the internet, probably because she, I guess, doesn't want people to see her. I don't know, that's her right, but girl, we love you. I am a big fan of Megan Thee Stallion, and also Megan Pete, like the person, not just, I mean, I don't know Megan Pete, so let me not say that, because I don't do that parasocial shit around here. But when I say that, I mean, like, from what she has revealed to us about who Megan Pete is and not Megan Thee Stallion, yeah, like, I fucks with the girl, and I hope she's having a good day. So, the Myers-Briggs personality test, right? I'm sure you guys have seen it before. I am an INFP. When I was a kid, I used to skew ENFP, but I've definitely settled. I'm just very social, and a lot of times people take my sociability for extroversion, but the marker of extroversion versus introversion is what recharges you. It's not just like, because some introverts, not all introverts are these awkward weirdos. It's just that they prefer to be alone to recharge their energy. And as a ambivert, I'm really, really good at being social. I'm really good at like talking to people and stuff, right? And it also makes me tired. It makes me so tired. But yeah, I had to look up what the difference, basically who's my opposite, right? The ESTJ is my opposite. And I was like, well, what is an ETSJ? Like, what are those traits? I've just never looked into them. So, the first letter is going to be your introversion versus extroversion. And yeah, it's a scale, right? But walk with me here. The next one is intuition versus sensing. And then sensing is like your more practical responses to the world. Then the third letter is going to be feeling versus thinking. And that would be kind of, I think that's similar to the second thing. I need to do more research about like why those are two separate things. And then the last one is perceiving versus judging. So kind of going with the flow versus like, no, everything has a place and everything's place is in its place for a reason. So there's 5 different human design types, right? I'm a manifesting generator, because I'm powerful and sickening, obviously. There's no hierarchy, I promise. But I do really identify with both of the facets of just being an idealist, and wanting to put my thoughts into the world, and also wanting to really build and create things that are sustainable. The other 4 types are both, so there's manifesting like by itself, generator by itself, and then we have projectors and reflectors. I'm not about to give you a lesson because that is more work than I'm willing to do on this currently unpaid video. However, go do your research, go to your Googles, do your human design. If you don't have your birth time, there's still a good amount of information that you can find out. And then everyone usually talks about like the main shit, right? The main shit is the 5 different types I just listed, but there's also a bunch of other really cool shit in there. There's a lot of different things that you can look at in the human design chart. There is your authority, which is how you make decisions. Mine is through my solar plexus, which is accurate as fuck. Like, it's one of those things where as you start to read about it, it's like, holy shit, that's me. It's really cool. There's also your life theme. Like mine it's mad dramatic. The right angle cross of the sleeping phoenix. It sounds sickening. Yeah, that's me. Those are some ways. Those are some ways to help illuminate your sense of self. Is to delve into that fucking human design chart. I think it's pretty dope. To the astrology haters in the building, I have a question for you guys. Have you done your full birth chart? Because if you haven't done your full birth chart, I don't really want to hear you talking too much shit about how astrology ain't real. Because the birth chart is, shout out to my boy JD, back when I was a freshman and they were a senior in college. They, one of the first things that they said to me was, oh my God, have you done your birth chart? And I was like, no, what is that? And now I'm one of them niggas. That's one of the first things I'm gonna say to you, because the birth chart is so freaking cool. It really illuminates different aspects of your personality. Like, have you ever heard of like your big 6, right? So it's your sun, moon, rising, if you have your birth time. Some people don't. Your Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Now let's break that down real quick. The sun sign, that's the one most people know. Like, that's your birthday, just your regular birthday, right? Your moon is the astral body that rules over emotions. So that can be like probably the self that you know the most. You may see yourself as your moon sign more than you do your rising, for example, which is how you present to the world. I am both a Gemini sun and rising, so people often guess correctly when I tell them to guess my sign. Because, yeah, it's written all over me. Mercury is the planet that rules over communication. And Venus, the planet of love. Mars is the planet over action, aggression, sex, things of that nature. And back to Venus, it can also not just be love, but like how you relate to other people. So yeah, that, and then there's all of the outer planets. There's your Saturn, which is the planet that rules over structure and discipline. Jupiter is luck, abundance. I'm not going to keep going because I'm not super well versed in the outer planets. But the point is that the birth chart is a really cool way of getting like a comprehensive look at yourself. Also, there's no fucking pressure, bro. If you're an astrology hater and this did not sell you, please don't be in my comments talking about how you just not. I don't care. I love astrology. It makes sense for me, and a lot of people. A really overlooked, I feel like, because it was something that while I was making this script I didn't think of till later, but self-expression as a part of identity. You see, I'm one of them pierced up body mods, mad tats. That's me. That was always a huge part of my self-expression, was to be alternative, to be different, which is also in the way that it can also be in the way that we dress. It can also be in the music that we listen to. I know that I, for one, I go to concerts alone a lot, and it's because I really feel like it depends on the artist, because there's some art, I have a pretty eclectic taste. Some artists, as much as I love them, I will not go see them in concert. Kid Cudi, I'm so sorry, my boy. The rest of your fans is irritating. I'm not about to go party with a bunch of fucking irritating ass little white boys. However, concerts can be a really cool experience because it's a way for you to just let loose in the lyrics of these artists that are really, a lot of time, I don't know, maybe not everyone's super emotional about music the way that I am, but I feel like music really helps, it really helps me express myself. So I find a lot of my identity through the music that I listen to. Let's see if this does what I think it's gonna do. I don't know. Yes, it actually did. Good luck on 20-somethings. It's really crazy that my 20-somethings are coming to an end. Not this year. And not next year. But the year after that. Like, that's crazy. That's so insane. Shout out to the 95 babies that are turning 30 this year. Shout out to all my friends in their 30s right now. There's nothing wrong. I don't know why I'm feeling need to go on this tangent, but there's nothing wrong with getting old. First of all, your 30s is not fucking old. I'm tired of that notion that, like, oh my god, I'm turning 30, like, I have to have it all together. No, the fuck you don't. You don't. I know most of the shit. The older I get and the more I be in community with different, like, people from, I guess, different walks of life or whatever, I be meeting niggas in their 40s that's damn near in the same predicament as me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all on a journey. We're just trying to figure it the fuck out. So, I guess that's why I was called to say it. When it comes to identity and understanding who you are, there can be a pressure to kind of have it figured out and to just know and to have arrived at that conclusion. But at the end of the day, child, we gonna get there when we get there. Life is a journey, and I really do believe in that whole, like, it's about it's about the journey, not the destination. So, the fact that I'm alive and figuring it out, and at this point in my day-to-day really enjoying that process, that's what's important to me. Not relying on the pressures of what society says you're supposed to have done at a certain age, or certain milestones you're supposed to reach. Like, if you ask around, I should have kids. I don't want kids. I should have a partner. I'm gay and poly. So, like, yeah, there's, it's up to you. Love therapy. Love therapy. I have been in therapy since I was like 12 years old, I think, because I had behaviors and they were trying to figure out what the fuck to do with me.
That's beautiful,
Yes, I have been in therapy for quite a while, and even though my first few therapists were white ladies that really had no business trying to give therapy to my black, queer, neurodivergent ass, you know, it put me, it set the fucking pace. I knew that was something that was important to me. When I got to college, I was so fortunate for one of the school psychologists was a black woman who, she didn't always get it right, but she was the first person that made me aware freshman year that I had anxiety. Like, I never thought that I experienced anxiety until I got to college, and then I realized that, oh, I've been experiencing this my whole life. It's just that the way that anxiety shows up in black girls, because socialized black woman here, hello. Yes, I'm non-binary finery, but I know how I'm socialized, and I would never want to divorce myself from the experiences of black women, because it's black women today, tomorrow, and forever. And on that note, happy Black History Month. I didn't say that, but happy Black History Month. It's Black History Month. If your black history doesn't include queer people, trans people, disabled people, sex workers, the degenerates of the world, if you will, or not to say that we're degenerates, just like, if you know me, you know what I'm trying to fucking say, but I'm a lot of those identities myself. But if your black history doesn't include, that's the nicer way of saying it. If your black history don't include the people on the margins, then your black history really ain't black history. And the thing is, we know Martin, we know Malcolm, right? But did you know that Malcolm X was bi? Did you know that the March on Washington was planned by my good boy Bayard Rustin, who was an openly gay man who unfortunately liked him some white pussy? So that's why, well, that's not why, but that's one of the reasons why niggas wasn't really fucking with him. Because he was out and proud. He didn't give a fuck. He was like, yeah, baby, this is what I'm doing, but I'm also for the people. So don't play with me. I'm going to still continue to munch on my little white... Moving the fuck on. I was talking about therapy. I was talking about therapy and how therapy is a really awesome way to get into some self-discovery. Therapy doesn't just have to be like, health insurance and finding a licensed therapist through fucking BetterHelp or whatever. Like, it don't got to be like that. There's group therapy. Get on NAMI. And if you are struggling with needing like that support but don't, have insurance or whatever, it's out there. If you are interested in it. We have to define ourselves on our own terms at the end of the day, right? We got to break free from labels that don't fit us. Little story time about becoming AK. My name is AK, the big one, not the little one. Act like you motherfucking know. And a lot of times people ask me, no, well, what's your real name? AK. It's AK. And it really frustrates me when people ask me what my real name is, because it is a sore spot for me. For a while now, I have been struggling with the idea of like whether or not it's really a dead name. And recently it has come to my attention that the level of like trigger and like upset that it causes when I have to say what my government name is, like, when it comes to like doctor stuff, or when people start to press me about it, like, no, it's a dead name. It's a dead name for two reasons. One, because it doesn't align with me. Like, it's a very, I've said this before, socialized black woman. So I have a very girly name. And for real, if you ask me, it's a little white girl name. But, no offense to the black. If you know, you know. And I love you if you are my friend with my dead name. It's a white girl name, boo. I'm sorry. And the other half of why I don't bang with it is because of, I think, my connection to my blood relatives. I don't know. I kind of just want to get through this video, so I'll probably talk about that whole thing if you guys want to hear it in a different video at a different time. But I have my whole life felt like the black sheep of my family. And it's funny because I am my grandmother's favorite, but and for a while I was really idealized because I was getting good grades. Like I'm a gifted kid. And so for a while, I guess from like birthish to middle schoolish, I was just, I was that. I was good grades and kicking out, and I was just, I was going to be the next doctor in the family. Like, I was all that. And then started wanting to unalive myself and started having behaviors, and then they got worse, especially when it was after I graduated college. Actually, I made it through college without any real like crazy shit going on, I guess. My first year living in Atlanta, second year living in Atlanta, and having to leave Atlanta, again, story for another day, that is when I really realized that my blood relatives are, I'm too much for them. I'm too much. I am a bother. I am, damn. It's funny how you think that you're over shit and then you kind of get into it and you're like, oh, that does still kind of hurt. It does hurt. Naming it is how we move through it, right? So I'm going to name it. It does hurt that my blood relatives don't accept me for who I am. It hurts. It especially hurts with my birth giver. Most recently, when I decided that it's a dub, like, I'm not finna keep doing this with you. It was like less than a week ago. The last thing, it was over my name. It was over my name. And the last thing that she said to me before I blocked her was, you know what? Actually, I am tired of this name thing. This name thing. As if this name thing is just, it's an inconvenience to her. My trans and non-binary identity is an inconvenience to my birth giver and to a lot of people. I'm not talking about my blood relatives specifically, but just in general, like when you are the queer of the family, it's kind of seen as like, could you just go do that over there? Like, do you have to be so loud about it? Do you have to be... Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because the alternative is that you assume that I'm like y'all. You know? It's... When you don't make a stake and say who the fuck you are, then sometimes it can be assumed that you just like everybody else. And I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm fine. I'm accepting that I'm not fucking regular. I am extraordinary. I am here to do extraordinary things. And it ain't nothing wrong with claiming that shit for yourself. And also, if you just want to live a simple life and just be a simple person and you don't want to do extraordinary things, you don't have to. I ask that we are always intentional. A great way to explore identity is through good, like I said before, through therapy, through self-reflection, journaling, creativity, creating more than you consume. That is a really big thing for me lately. Making sure that I'm not just taking in. I think often people's personalities can be lost in what they consume. So if you find that you don't maybe really know who you are, it doesn't mean you have to create as in a way like to monetize. Being a creative in this day and age, it has been heavily monetized by a lot of people, and by me, shit, that's what I'm trying to do out here. However, being creative doesn't have to be about the money. You know, being creative is just expressing your inner world in one way or another. That can be through drawing. It can be through poetry. It can be through building things. Just get those inner feelings out of you and help yourself figure out, what does it mean to be me? How do you want to define yourself? If you are struggling to define yourself, explore yourself. Figure out what the fuck you like. There's different ways to do that. Get a hobby. Try different hobbies. Get on motherfucking, what is it, Meetup? Find some different activities to do. Go on Instagram and look up different events going on in the city. There are just so many different things that we can do to tap into who we are. And I'm hoping that we all take the time to fucking do it. And I'm just gonna keep yammering, so I'm gonna cut off this part of it. We're going to do the rest on speed through. I'm almost done. I told y'all I'm getting better. But yeah, I'm gonna do a quick little speed through for the rest of this, and we're gonna come back in a little bit to wrap up. A freak in the morning, a freak in the evening. Just call me up and I'll be there when you need me. Why is this song on my heart? I don't know, but I'm almost done. I'm just trying to fill up the space while I'm doing my face. That's it. That's all I got. I'm not a rapper. Yeah, lashes, lips, beautiful, eyebrows, because I just couldn't not. The look didn't call for eyebrows, but I just, you know me. You know how I feel about my brows. So, love a red lip, doing the lashes, and boom. All right, y'all, this is the final look. Thank you, whoever did make the Stallion's makeup for that photo. I ain't going nowhere. So the fact that I have this full fucking face of cute ass makeup and I'm not going nowhere is kind of pissing me off, but it's whatever. I had some final thoughts while I was doing my makeup. I low-key had a little moment. I teared up. I got a little sad because happy sad. A couple of years ago, Lizzo came out with her album Special, and there was a song on there called To Be Loved. I need to add that song to my love playlist. Duh. Okay, sorry. Not sorry. Just getting distracted. So that song, really that album, multiple songs on the album didn't make me tear up because I really felt them. But the specific song I'm talking about, To Be Loved, questioning if you're ready to be loved because you don't love yourself. And it was the part where she says, how am I supposed to love somebody else when I don't like myself? Guess I gotta learn to like it. Might take my whole life just to do. Girl, ain't say nothing but a motherfucking word. Yeah, that shit hit me in the chest because that album came out when I was 25, and now as I'm approaching my 28th solar return, I do finally love myself. I finally love myself. I finally love myself. That's all I have to say. I finally love myself. I finally feel like as I said earlier, like I don't think that in the journey of like self-discovery or anything, I don't really think there's no destination. You just you're on a constant evolution. But where I'm at right now, I really do feel comfortable with myself. I'm proud of myself for really just remaining open and constantly seeking to expand and become the best version of me, Some notes that I was thinking up while I was doing my final touches was that I really focused on like familial relationships, but even like when it comes to like being in a romantic relationship or even friendships, it's easy to get lost in those dynamics as well. And I guess the point that I just want to drive home there is to feel secure in your own identity outside of what you mean to others. It's fantastic and necessary, and like human relationships are a huge aspect of living. Like we can't live without each other. That's not what I'm talking about, but sometimes people's personality is that they're in a relationship, or their personality is whoever they are in the the friend group, and like, yeah, friend, you want the slide into your own, you want the figure out who you is outside of them niggas, because what if them niggas go? If everyone disappears, who are you when you close the door? Who are you when you're alone with yourself? And yes, that can be informed, and it's healthy to inform those by who you are in the community, but you still gotta have a personality when you by yourself. Another thing that I wanted to note. That was it. That's all I got for you, y'all. I hope that this was illuminating. I be wanting to like cover, like when I have these topics, obviously there's 1,000 different things you can say, and I be wanting to say everything, and then I'm like, fuck, I didn't say this and send it. It's just part of the discussion. We'll continue the discussion in the comments. I might make another video about who you are. Like, you know, there might be a part 2 to this. Who knows? I just wanted to get some preliminary thoughts out there while I do this sickening beat. Happy Black History Month again. I said it before. This is my Every Nigga Deserves sweater. I need more. But on the back it says, every nigga deserves love, because they do. Happy Black History Month. Valentine's Day. Whatever. I'll have some things to say about that probably. I'll probably do. We'll see. We're going to talk about that when we get there. But for now, be kind to yourself and don't take nobody's shit, including your own. I'm going to catch y'all next week. Megan can't do this and that. They hate to see where I'm at. They want to put me in beef. Shit, them bitches ain't talking to me. Southside shit forever, ho. Get a breast tee from the Tesco. Rockin' booty shorts to the gun store. Nigga still trapping out the Fago. Like, I can't even take half of you bitches seriously. Like, half of y'all don't know if you don't fuck with me or if you want to fuck me. Fucking bitches. I'm done. Bye, y'all.